All right, up next on the podium, we have Tommy Kraemer. Once again, use the raise your hand function and we'll get you queued up. We are going to start with Josh Allen.
Hey, Tommy, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I just wanted to know if there's anyone specifically you've been able to lean on throughout this journey, your pro days, your, getting the pre-draft process, any former teammates, coaches, anyone that's really, you've been in their ear and asked for advice. And then have you spoken with the Buccaneers during the pre-draft process at all?
I'll start with that. I haven't spoken to the Bucks yet, but this pre-draft process has been fun. We have 4 guys coming out, so we have a big group text. We text back and forth different things that are going on. It's helpful to have a lot of guys in the situation. And then, close friends, Sam Usfer, Alex Bars, Quentin Nelson, Mike McGlinchey, all those guys who have gone through it. They're great resources for us. And, I can hit those guys up anytime, and they're always willing to take a call or a FaceTime or whatever. So it's been nice. They've been really helpful.
Up next, we'll go to Matias Ornelas.
Thank you. Tommy, here's Mateus from Time Out Podcast here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. During this process, a lot of teams and a lot of scouts are going to talk what is good and what is bad in your game. But what do you think is your main quality that you're trying to show for these NFLs on your tape, on the interviews, and anything else?
I think whatever team picks me, they're getting a smart, tough football player that's played a lot of football at 2 different positions. I'm a guy that can play whatever. I've been practicing the left side, right side through this process, and I'm excited to show teams what I can do.
Up next, we'll have a question from Matt Freeman.
How tough was it for you just to kind of battle through the injuries that you went through last fall, and how important was it for you to finish out the year with your guys?
Injuries are a part of this game. It's something that I've had to deal with. But to be honest, the guys I play with are my best friends, and I would do anything for them. So it was pretty easy to, brush off a small injury here and there just to continue playing with my brothers. And, we had such a special group this year. I would have done anything to stay on the field. So it was an awesome year. I'm glad I could play the whole season.
Reminder to raise your hand if you have a question for Tommy. All right, we're going to go next to Tyler James.
Hey, Tommy, you're among the last of the few remaining from the Harry Hiestand era. How have you guys done to sort of carry over that standard of excellence, and how important has that been to you to kind of do that with the group that still remains in Notre Dame?
Yeah, Coach Hiestand has done a phenomenal job of recruiting good players, and he's instilled, really great technique in us. But honestly, the thing I think that's most important is he taught us to be men, to show up early to things, be on time, and always, do the best you can. And I think that's something that the guys that we have here now have done a great job picking up on. And that's another thing. Coach Quinn has done a phenomenal job of continuing that legacy. So there's really no step off there. They've done a great job, and I'm excited to see those guys continue to kick some butt.
And we'll have a call for a last round of questions. Once again, raise your hand. We'll go back to Tyler.
Yeah, Tommy, where have you been training, and what have you been working on to try to get yourself ready for the draft?
Yeah, it's been nice. I actually stayed in South Bend. I trust Coach Bayless with my life, so I stayed here. I've been working with him, rehabbing with our medical people. It's been awesome staying here. And then it's been cool to, help the guys out on the team, just to be around them. It's a little bit different, but I've really enjoyed staying in South Bend with Notre Dame.
We'll go to Mark Skoll from WNDU next.
Hey, Tommy, I'm just curious, what teams have shown the most interest in you? And one thing I'm also curious about, during this pre-draft process, it seems like there's always these funny questions that come out, unique questions, or scouts challenging players to staring contests or anything like that. Have you gotten anything unique or out of the ordinary like that as well?
Not really. I think everything's been pretty straightforward. It's all, family background, academic history, stuff like that. So it's been pretty good. But I've heard from probably the majority of teams. It's been an exciting process, and I'm excited to hear from more.
Next question will come from Patrick Ingle.
Tommy, to ask about a couple of guys who are in the offensive line room still. What in playing guard and having Dylan Gibbons and John Dirksen behind you, thinking that those guys are going to get a chance to compete for starting jobs. What do you think they'd be able to add, and just how you saw them go about their jobs when you did overlap?
Yeah, I mean those guys are two awesome football players. They're tough, gritty, physical. They can definitely do it. I think the Notre Dame offensive line will be getting two mature players in John and Dylan, guys that care a lot about the program and care about improving in their craft. So I'm excited to see those two guys battle out this spring. I'll be around through the draft to help with spring ball and watch practice. So I'm excited to see them. They're going to be two great players.
Up next, we have Lou Samoji from Blue and Gold.
Tommy, what is it about Matt Balis that makes you trust him with your life? I mean, many times there's an impression strength programs are strength programs, etc. What impact and influence did he have that gives it such a Pied Piper effect with so many players?
I think Coach Balis does the best job of kind of pushing you past your limit. It's human nature to think we all have this certain limit, and he just takes it one step further just to make you such a better player and such a better man. And then my biggest decision staying at Notre Dame was just to continue training my football skill. We didn't focus a ton on, the pro day agility stuff. It was just about becoming the best football player and strongest football player possible. And if you look at Coach Balis' track record, he's done just that. So I thought it was the best fit to stay with him, and he's a phenomenal resource at Notre Dame.